Live from the Buffalo Grove Pride Parade, it's WCPT AM's Out Chicago. Consider it Sunday brunch with your gay best friends. Filling in for Scott, Duff, and Ellen Miller, none other than Ken Mejia-Beal.
Woo! Hello, and thank you for joining me today. My name's Ken Mejia-Beal, and you are listening to Out Chicago. We are here at the Buffalo Grove Pride Parade, live broadcasting here on WCPT 820 AM, Heartland Signal. It's a beautiful day, and the parade will begin very soon. So, today is June 1st, beginning of Pride Month, and there's no better place to be than right here with so many strong allies, supporters, and members of the LGBTQ community. We also have Scott Duff and Ellen Miller, who are grand marshaling this parade, which is why I'm joining you today. And the parade will kick off very soon. My first guest today is Peter Thaddeus. I just looked at my screen like I don't know who you are. Who has an art booth here, and he's also a leader with Youth Outlook.
Yes.
Great organization that we'll get into. Peter, how's it going today?
It's going fabulously.
So tell a little bit about the art you create.
So I paint artwork for the LGBT community specifically. I try and represent folks. I try not to speak for them, but to try to magnify voices of people in the community. A lot of course, rainbows and bright colors and good vibes, but also feel like Pride is a protest, and my art is has kind of a protest vibe to it sometimes too. You know, everything from cute animals that are rainbow colored to some more serious pieces for folks. Yeah.
You talked about, I actually talked about a little bit earlier, some of the work that you've done with Youth Outlook. How does that all mesh together for you as an artist?
So I was actually youth at Youth Outlook myself, and then coming back, leading our Naperville site. I've been leading it for 12 years, and I just seeing all the youth and the different kinds of folks come in and seeing how brave they are and coming out as queer and gay and trans and everything else. It really inspires me. And I sometimes specifically get inspired by things that they draw and things that they do. And I'll include some of those elements into my work and then like show them, look, I kind of stole your idea, but later, look how fabulous it is. And like, you really inspired me.
Yeah.
So it's kind of nice to have that, being able to give back and just kind of that circular thing going on. Yeah.
And we spoke a little bit before we got on the air. This is not your first Buffalo Grove Pride Parade. And you mentioned one during COVID, the drive-by.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, and I've been doing the Buffalo Grove Coming Out Day events and Pride events for years, and during COVID we had to, when we kind of could be around people, but they didn't actually have the parade because they didn't want people congregating outside. So in front of Carolyn Pinta's house, I had my booth like right on her front lawn. And so all these people that you see here at the parade, they were like crammed like alongside the street. Like,
shout out to Carolyn Pinta because she has really changed the dynamics of this community.
Absolutely.
With her voice and her activism.
She's fantastic.
Yeah,
I love her.
She's the best.
Yeah.
So this is not your first one, clearly. Not going to be your last. What do you like particularly about the Buffalo Grove Pride Parade?
Well, for one thing, just being here for years, I get to know the people in the community, and it does have that like community vibe, even beyond just the LGBTQ community. Everybody really supports each other and comes back, like remembers me, and I remember them, and that kind of thing. It's just become a really good space for it.
Yeah.
A lot of it thanks to Carolyn Pinta, but just everyone that I meet every year and kind of continue that vibe.
Got it.
Yeah.
And when you are creating your art, because you travel across the country with your art, correct? Yes.
Yeah, we coast to coast this year too.
Nice, congratulations!
Really
you have great art. Where can people look at this art, by the way?
You can check at ThaddeusArt.com. That's my website. You can purchase prints on there.
ThaddeusArt.com. So back to your art. When you're creating and you're trying to figure out how to take whatever's in your mind and put it on the canvas.
Yes.
What are those steps, especially because your art is so vividly LGBTQ positive?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. LGBTQ positive, body positive.
Yes, it's all positive.
I try and just give all those good vibes.
Yeah.
So a lot of times I'll have an idea for months or years before I'm able to bring it to fruition.
Yeah.
Because I don't always know exactly how I want to execute it. So it kind of ruminates back there for a while. And then I'll do a paint sketch, like a loose paint sketch on the canvas. Because I don't do like a pencil, it's not a hardline sketch, and then I'll just kind of refine it as I go once I feel like I can do it. But I won't start a painting if I'm too frustrated trying to figure out what it's going to be. Then it's going to look tortured on the canvas.
Yes,
it's like
I
want it to look smooth. Right, you don't want that.
There's enough torture in the world.
Yes,
we don't want that
absolutely.
hanging on our
We are
walls.
not looking for torture.
No, not at all. So, go to the website, buy the art.
Yes, ThaddeusArt.com.
Yes, thank you for that. And now a little bit more about Youth Outlook.
Yes.
What is your role?
So I run the Naperville Tuesday night site, and I'm the Healthy Relationship Programmer as well.
Okay.
So every Tuesday night from 6:30 to 9 o'clock, folks come in. They get to socialize, meet new people, their own age. We do different topics each week. We do different activities. Summer's upon us, or here, basically. So we've been going outside and little walking field trips and things like that too.
Very nice.
It's just it's an amazing experience. Like I said, having been a youth and then leading the site, it's amazing.
What are you hearing from the youth right now with just the current climate of what's happening at a national level across our country?
Most of them are terrified.
Okay. Which is totally understandable.
We do provide that space for them to vent their feelings, to communicate with each other and connect and understand that they have the support and find that support through us, so they can take that being terrified and be productive with it. Or take their anger and be productive with it.
Got it.
And all those feelings, and can actually have a good time, through finding the community then, even though you're upset.
And I think just I'm not young anymore, but I'm young-ish.
You are young.
Well, thank you, sir. But the one thing I remember is growing up, there wasn't much community. And now there is so much community. And so to kind of watch what is happening, it feels the juxtaposition of the freedoms mixed with just the way everything's kind of shaping out, the targeting attack, the erasure of trans folks. Mm-hmm. When we talk about the fear of the youth, and you're calming that and kind of channeling that through art and through music and through everything, what do you envision the next couple of years to look like?
I feel there's been a lot of connecting and protesting and community building, things like that, and I feel like that is going to grow, and it needs to grow, and that those connections, and you're talking about not having that community, there weren't people, and that's something that we always say, but there were people, it's just we weren't out, or we weren't finding each other.
Yes, that's what I mean.
Right, but that's the thing that we're doing, is finding is the important part right now, and the people coming out, and I'm just so impressed with the bravery of especially young trans kids right now.
Yes.
That they are coming out and wanting to be seen at least enough to find their friends and their community and everything. And I think that's what's going to get us forward through these times.
I love that. And events like this make it so much easier to meet folks that are not just members of your community, but members that support the community.
Yeah. And look at all the different ages and all the kinds of people around here.
That. I'm literally looking at a demographic of folks between the ages of maybe 4 to well above 4.
Yeah. 4 plus.
4 plus.
4 and up. It's like the Legos.
This crowd is so varied, and there's our 4-legged friends and our 2-legged friends.
Yeah, there was a goat over here earlier.
There was a goat. The goat's name is Tanya.
Okay.
She has a name, and she is fabulous, and we have to find that goat and bring...
I just saw her from far away. Everyone's taking pictures.
She will be here all day, and hopefully we can get a picture of her and get her to interview on the show.
I would love that.
That would be... She's going to be my co-host.
Yes.
I believe that we are going to go to break. Yes? Yeah, we're going to go to break. Thank you so much, Peter, for joining us.
Thank you so much, Ken.
And please stay tuned. We'll be right back at the Buffalo Grove Pride Parade 2025.
I'm Jen Grosshandler.
And I'm Chizzy Grosshandler.
We're with the Gender Cool Project, and you're listening to
Out Chicago!
Woot!
There we go. This is Ken Mejia-Beal coming live to you from the Buffalo Grove Pride Parade. Thank you for tuning in to WCPT 820 AM Heartland Signal. You are at the best brunch in the world without Chicago. We are broadcasting live from the Buffalo Grove Pride Parade. It's a beautiful day to come outside, and I have a beautiful, beautiful guest coming up next, Allie Gillies. Did I pronounce that correctly?
It's Gillies, but
Gillies?
close
Okay.
enough.
No, let's get it right. Allie Gillies is someone that I met today. You have a wonderful booth. What is the name of the booth that's behind us?
So we're here with Palatine Parents for Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion.
Got it.
And we're giving away free LGBTQ authors and themed books to young children all the way up through adults because we feel it's important to have inclusion in the community.
Agreed.
The group was formed a few years back, and they do meetups and play groups and things like that. And they'll also have another event at Juneteenth at Harper giving away African American and Black storybooks.
That is so important. Number one, reading has really taken a backseat to a lot of other things.
Yes.
So anytime we can get young folks reading and some older folks reading, we're doing a good job.
Exactly.
What is your... How are you making sure that these kids are reading? How do you make it cool again? That's the
So
question.
we make it cool by doing a lot of different things. So at the end of June, for example, in Palatine at the Palatine Public Library, we have a Pride Fair going on from 1 to 3 p.m. So that gets kids continuing to read. So we're advertising that today for the students.
Yay!
But also I think it's important for people to see themselves in stories. So as a parent of a trans daughter who probably didn't see herself in stories and books in my house when we didn't know we had a trans daughter,
Yeah.
I think it was so important. I think one of the first events that she attended was at Kenneth Young, and it was where I was at the table for Palatine Parents for DEI, handing out free books, and she grabbed a book and saw herself in the story.
Oh.
And I think that made me realize how important it is to continue to do this work.
Yes.
And also just as being a parent of a trans kid, to realize that that person, that inside person, does not change. I know a lot of parents get nervous and worried and concerned and very frightened by the fact that their kid might be trans when they first come out. But for us, my husband John and myself, it was more a little bit of a shock because we didn't know, but not that we didn't accept. Does that make sense?
Yes, that makes perfect sense. Yes.
So what we ended up doing was just realizing, okay, what are your pronouns? What is the name you want to go by?
Yeah.
And how do we navigate this? And I think we're 2.5 to 3 years into it right now. And, my kid is happy and presenting as herself and probably is the happiest they've ever been. And
I love that.
They still love music and jazz and theater and all the things they liked before.
Right.
It's the same person, just with a different name and different presentation and more an authentic self. So I don't know.
So going through this journey, because it is a journey.
Yeah.
As a parent, what would you tell other parents that are having a hard time grappling with change?
Sure. I think if you can look at it that you're not losing your child, the child that you birthed, the child that maybe you had as a son and is now a daughter, or a daughter is now a son, that child is the same person. You haven't lost anything. You just have to, there's a little bit of grappling with pronouns because it's a change, right?
Yes.
You're going to screw up. But if you get therapy for yourself just to navigate it, and if your kid also gets therapy for themselves so they can navigate it, and you are gentle with each other,
yes,
I think that's the key. I think that you have to be accepting, because some kids change. Some kids go from, I don't know, maybe they're non-binary and they don't know, right?
Right.
But go with it. And if they want to use they, them, use it. It was used in old colloquial English as a single person a long time ago.
Yes.
Get over the fact it's a plural. Who cares? You have to be accepting. And if you love your kid, you're going to have an alive kid by the time they're 26, by the time their frontal cortex has formed, and by the time they've really decided what they want to be. We have been navigating going to appointments and different things, and I go and I shut my trap because it is not my journey. And that is difficult for me. I'm a control freak, and my husband will tell you, but at the end of the day, you have to support your kid. And if you want your kid to be alive, happy, and productive in the universe, take a back seat. Let them do things. Ask them questions. How do you want to dress? Do not criticize what they're wearing because they're trying to navigate it. When I was a kid, I wore like dark black and I wore green eyeshadow. It was horrible.
Oh.
But nobody told me I shouldn't do that, right? And recently my daughter was like, Mom, why are you bugging me about my hair? And I went, oh my God, I'm doing it to them that my mother did to me.
Yeah.
So you just have to, I think if you, acceptance is key, loving them is key, and knowing at the end of the day, if they're happy, who cares? And if they're going to love who they're going to love and they're going to be who they're going to be, and if you can't handle that, you shouldn't have had kids.
I love the way you have eloquently put all of this. As we are talking, the parade is coming down the street.
It is. It's so exciting.
It is fastly approaching. Why is it important, especially in Buffalo Grove, for this parade to happen for the community?
It's so important because it's incredibly inclusive to our area. I live in Palatine, the people that live in Buffalo Grove and nearby communities. It's welcoming because it has Harper College that's marching. Two of my kids are marching in that today. It's just so welcoming that there's no area of the community that you can be in where you're not feeling loved and welcomed. And I think it's incredibly important that this continues and that groups that, give out free books and groups that come here to show their artwork and show themselves and their authentic person, that they are allowed to do that. And we really value BG Pride and Carolyn Pinta, who invited me to have our booth here today. Without BG Pride, I think the community would be a huge loss. And it's incredible that they're here today. And being able to see the people come by at the beginning of the parade is absolutely amazing.
We are finally at the beginning of the parade. And our first group, we have the Pinta,
BG Pride,
Yeah, BG Pride is coming. Fabulous balloons. I love a good balloon.
And it's dedicated to Tommy DiLorenzo, who lost his life this past year. So Tommy's balloons are there, and it's freaking awesome.
That is, and that just happened this year.
Yeah, it did. Yes, yeah.
This is a great tribute to his memory, I believe. Yes. So as we get this going, we're coming up on. As it's happening, I'm trying to stay live. We have some beautiful ladies waving at us. What is your favorite LGBTQ book?
Oh, have mercy. Well, one of them, and I'm going to screw up the title.
It's okay.
So Molly Pinta has an essay in one of the Pride books that we have on our table today. I think it's called Rainbow Pride. And then, to be honest with you, I don't have a specific title that I love, but I love the fact that there are questioning books for middle schoolers so that they can see themselves in the journey.
I agree.
Too many titles to list, but that's really what I love, is those questioning books, because it can be for anybody. You do not have to be gay, LGBTQ, trans, or anything. But if you read that story, you might understand your friend, understand how you're feeling, or, share it with a friend. So I think those stories are important.
Well, and here we have Scott, Duff, and Ellen Miller, the
Woo!
Grand Marshals. And we're used to seeing them every Sunday, listening to them every Sunday, and now they're rolling right past us on the
and doing quite a good job lip syncing. They're doing.
They were born for this moment.
I think so. That was a pretty good.
They were born for this moment. They're far better than.
Just did.
This is why I'll never be the Grand Marshal of a parade. I can't lip sync for my life.
No, I wouldn't be very good with that either.
We have the Long Grove Fire here now. I love a good fire truck. And the weather is perfect today.
Yeah, the weather's perfect. It's not too hot.
Yes.
And it's just sunny and gorgeous.
And now we have the Metropolis School of Performing Arts. Gotta love the performing arts.
They're a very inclusive organization as well.
Oh, so tell us a little bit more about them.
Just that they have theater programs at the Metropolis, and they're just very inclusive of their actors and their actresses.
Great. That is very important, especially at a young age. We have WOW Presents in the Highwood Pride coming right now. And that is Highwood Pride. You can find them at Highwood Pride on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram. It's like a fun group. Lots of fun with Highwood Pride. Oh yeah.
We've got lots of great things.
Lots of great things.
Yeah.
So, back to the book.
Yes.
How about an author? what author would you recommend for younger?
Oh, for younger people? I was so bad and I didn't make a list of authors today, but
you're fine. Well, think about it. We have ER for Pets coming right by.
We do.
Just think about it while.
I mean, to be honest with you, so I'm actually an author, and I.
Oh, lovely.
So I have books. They're under Continue to Live and Flourish, and I have stories of my kids when they were little and growing up homeschooling, and then the transition for my daughter. And I think that's helpful to parents to see stories that are familiar for them and to be able to understand like parenting.
Yes.
And just the changes.
And where can we find that?
So you can find it at continuetolive.wordpress.com, and there's a link for the books. I sell them currently on Amazon, as much as Amazon is a little bit annoying these days. It's the place where I can get them printed for the cheapest and whatnot. But I'm actually looking right now to get my books done with Aiden Brand's books. He's a youth publisher. He's a young man in Palatine, Aiden Brands, and although I don't meet his demographic because I'm over 50, but he's considering publishing my book. So we'll see.
Please publish her book. We deserve to read it. Speaking of deserve, we have Wintrust, and we deserve them in our community. A great bank, very open, very inclusive, all the time. I would love to read your book.
Oh, I can give you a copy. I can get you one.
I would love that. And how hard is it writing a book like that?
It's challenging.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're revealing things about yourself, you feel a little naked out there in the world when you put your stuff out there, especially if it's a personal story. It's more like a self-help book. But I think at the end of the day, if it helps people, that's what's important. And I love to write. I write every single day. I blog, and I just blog our life story and try to be respectful of my kids' personal identity.
I'm sure that's very hard.
Aside from that, my husband's out there. He knows it already because I put all his stuff, all his dirty laundry.
Oh, your poor
husband.
husband.
I know.
He's probably afraid every day.
He is.
We have the Mundelein LGBT Alliance and allies that are passing us right now. Great organization. So, that's my biggest fear of cohabitating, being married to a writer, is this argument is going to end up in chapter 3, and I'm going to be wrong because you're writing it.
No, at the end of the day, I think if you tell authentic stories, it ends up being, understood by your partner that it's meant to help people. But also, I mean, he has free reign to say, do not put that in a book. And
Do you listen?
Sometimes. He knows better than to really, critique.
Well, Allie, it has been a pleasure talking to you. Thank you for joining us here on WCPT. Give us again where we can find your book.
So if you go on Amazon.com and look up Allie Gillies, ALLIE-GILLIES, you can find my books, or you can go to continuetolive.wordpress.com.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Have a great Pride Day.
Thank you.
And now I have Allie Frank, looking lovely. I love the face. You are a recent college graduate who's part of the community, and you're involved with BG Pride. Can we talk a little bit about that? I think we're adjusting your sound a little bit. Yes, we are, Allie. Okay.
Awesome. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for joining.
Happy to be here.
So what do you do with BG Pride?
Yeah, so I've actually been super fortunate every year to have a different part in the parade. So their first year, I was just in the crowd, didn't know anything about BG Pride. Second year, I got super involved. I had my own nonprofit organization, and we were a sponsor of the parade.
Nice.
I was 16 at the time. I'm now 21.
Congratulations.
And thank you. And so we were walking in the parade, and we did that for a few years. Obviously, during COVID, we had the drive-by parades.
Yep.
And so my organization was fortunate enough to have a house on the route, and we were a part of that, and that was fantastic. And then this year, I'm actually on the back end. I'm on the photography crew.
Nice.
And then doing media.
So what drew you to join BG Pride?
So the first year of BG Pride, I actually wasn't out to my parents, and not that I had any reason to believe they wouldn't love me unconditionally, no matter who I am. I kind of used it as like a way to, test the waters with them. Brought it up, they were like, let's go. And then it was like a month later, I came out to them, and they have always been so gung-ho supporting BG Pride, whether or not I've been involved. And I have grown so close to the Pinta family, working with them throughout the entire year with different Pride initiatives. I was a part of their Faces of Buffalo Grove Pride, so speaking for them on their behalf when they were a little preoccupied during the parade. And it has just been such an amazing organization to be a part of. They truly have the community's best interest at heart, and they are just great people, and I love supporting them.
So on top of all the support, being a member of the community, how have you seen Buffalo Grove change over the last maybe, let's say, 10 years or so?
Over the past 10 years, so when I was younger, before BG Pride was a thing, I would never know what Pride Month was.
Yeah.
I'd walk into different stores and it would be any normal month. But now we have all of these sponsors, these community partners that for either the entire month of June or throughout the entire year, they have Pride flags up, they have BG Pride information up, and so walking in, seeing these businesses that support the parade and knowing all year round that we have allies that have our back, knowing they were there beforehand, but also now it's a bit more loud and proud.
Yes.
So being a queer person in Buffalo Grove, walking into different restaurants and just seeing love is love, or everyone is welcome here, or no discrimination, anything like that, especially in right now with our political climate, is just such a respite.
And you are very young, which, this is an awesome thing. What words of hope, inspiration, whatever we're calling, because there's a lot of folks that are not in a safe space to come out. What words of inspiration would you have for those folks?
I would say that, and this is kind of a cliche, but the It Gets Better campaign.
Yes.
That has been such a successful campaign for a reason, because it truly, truly does get better. And I know in the darkest of dark times, like we're living right now, it doesn't seem like it. And I don't want to be the person who, came from a very loving family, talking to these people who are not as fortunate as I am and just being like, oh, it gets better. But just knowing that there is the light at the end of the tunnel, this won't last forever. There will be a day that the world sees you for who you are and who you want to be, and you just get to let your true colors shine through. That day will come, and when it comes, it will be the most euphoric experience. And so just holding on to that hope, even when it seems so, so hard, is so important.
And now, this is a question I've been waiting to have you in my seat. There are not a lot of folks, but there are folks that say, well, why do we do parades like this? The LGBT community is such a small population. What would you say to those people?
Well, first of all, why not have a parade? I mean, I'm going to be honest. Why not? This is fun.
This is fun.
It's just music, a bunch of people getting together. We're drawing the community closer. Take the reason out of it, just for a little bit. It's a parade. The community is together. That's my first thing. It's if you're really that upset about a parade, think about it a little bit.
Reevaluate your life.
Yeah, but when it comes to the whole argument of why is there a whole Pride Month or why do we do a Pride Parade, it's because there are people, there are children, there are adults, there are people of all ages who look at themselves in the mirror and think that they are better off dead than gay. And that's not okay. And having this shows everyone. I've come across newborns today, I've come across elderly people today. Everyone from every walk of life is here knowing that we want them here as they are. And that's how we raise our community here in Buffalo Grove.
Right now, we have a lot of noise for Discover that is here. Discover has Discover has Pride. Discover has snacks.
Ooh.
But speaking of all because I've seen folks, the age range is wide and far, and there's a goat and there's dogs. What is your favorite part of the Buffalo Grove Pride Parade?
My favorite part of the Buffalo Grove Pride Parade is seeing everyone come out for this. Seeing my entire community. I'm born and raised in Buffalo Grove. I've never lived anywhere else. Walking past us right now is my junior high school that I attended.
Name the junior high school.
Aptekissick Junior High School. This is actually Aptekissick Trip. Hi guys.
Woo!
I am a proud D102 graduate and a proud Buffalo Grove born and raised. So just seeing that my teachers, my social worker being here supporting us, and I'm a few years out from D102, but still just knowing that they had my back when I was there, and I felt it when I was there, and I feel it now. And just seeing everyone come out for this is incredible. Like, I would have never known that Discover, their headquarters are in Riverwoods.
I just found that out yesterday.
So I would have never known that their headquarters is LGBTQ affirming, you know?
Yeah.
And so seeing that, I'm like, oh, well, I'm so happy that I'm a patron of theirs, you know? So seeing everyone just come out and support everyone here is so heartwarming.
So where do you see this parade going over the next few years? Because it's been growing.
Oh, yeah.
At a rate that is incredibly it's large.
Oh, yeah. So it's exponential.
Yes, exponential. That was the
exponential.
word. Thank you.
Yeah.
Where do you see it going in the next couple of years?
I see it getting even bigger, even better, especially, every time that you throw hate. Hey, Kristal.
There's Kristal.
Kristal Larson, one of the first transgender elected officials of our area.
Yes.
She is incredible. I've worked with her, but sorry, back to your question.
No, yeah.
I see this getting bigger and better, especially, I think as the political climate kind of declines, goes against us as the LGBTQ community, I see the Pintas just going bigger and better every time. So. Yeah, I think every time that a politician on the national level says something negative about the LGBTQ community, I think the Pintas just like put another sparkle in this parade,
And speaking of sparkles, we are listening to the sparkling music from the Lake County Pride Fest.
Oh, I love the Lake County Pride Fest.
Yes, it'll be June 14th from 12 to 10, Round Lake Beach Civic Center. So if you want to check that out, go to lgbtqlc.com/pridefest.
Highly recommend. I have been to that one before, and it is incredible. If you love BG Pride, that is a perfect continuation.
What my favorite part is always the music, the drag shows, and the snacks. I love getting free candy.
That is the best part of a parade is all the swag, the giveaways.
Yes, I love the free candy. So staying in the community, doing the good work. Next year, this day, let's say this same time next year, what do you want young people to feel in a year from now that they might not feel right now?
Hope.
Yes.
Hope.
Okay.
Just a one-word answer for you is hope, but then I'll make it not a one-word answer because that's how I answer.
Because there is a vacuum of hope right now.
Yes.
There's this feeling that things are just progressively getting worse every day.
And we all feel it. It's so hard to have so much hope in times when it really doesn't feel like that, and when it feels like your identities are not being represented or cared for on a national level, and the people who are elected to protect you aren't. Yeah. And having that feeling is just such external hopelessness. It's not even internal hopelessness. No. It's external hopelessness. And then put that together with the amount of hopelessness, the rates of depression and suicide among LGBTQ individuals, especially adolescents. Yeah. And what I hope is that next year we feel hope. Collectively as a community, we feel hope.
And something I read to touch on what you just said is, and I can't remember where, but if a young LGBTQ person feels supported in the beginning of their journey, it changes the whole life. Yeah. It changes their expectancy of hope, and their expectancy of love, and their expectancy of higher self-esteem. It all starts at the very beginning, which is why I was born in the 80s, and you would not see young people at parades.
Right.
It was a totally different time. So being here now is just an amazing. Yeah. It's amazing to watch. We have the Chi-Town Pitties. I love a pitty. They're the best dogs in the world.
They didn't bring any pitties.
I know. Where are the pitties?
Where are the pitties?
Where are the pitties?
Oh, they weren't allowed. Oh, no.
Oh, well, that's going to be our goal for next year. We need more pitties.
We do need more pitties. I'll take that up with Carolyn.
Yes, I'll call her too.
Perfect.
So we are going to head to break, and when we get back, We're going to be broadcasting live from Buffalo Grove at the Pride Parade, so don't go anywhere. Thank you for listening. WCPT 820 AM, out Chicago.
Hey, this is Mark Patton, and I'm from Scream Queen, My Nightmare on Elm Street, and you're listening to Out Chicago.
And welcome back to the 7th annual Buffalo Grove Pride Parade. Scott Duff, Ellen Miller, we're joining Ken Mejia-Beal. Ken, thanks for holding things down.
Thank you guys for inviting me. This is amazing.
Holy smokes.
We had a blast. What a great crowd out here in Buffalo Grove. I mean, kids of all ages, people of all ages.
Yes.
I was like, I had a tear in my eye when we started. I really got choked up.
100%. As I was walking because, you know, we were at the beginning of the parade.
Beginning, yes.
So we had to get, as we were walking up through the staging route, there were all of these, flag corps that were, practicing, and dance teams, and cheer squads, and fire trucks, and all of these incredible, just humanity people.
Yeah.
And I was sitting there going, wow.
The energy is so positive.
Beyond positive.
It is
so positive.
And as somebody who grew up out here, it gets to me even more because, you know, I've always felt like the suburbs were pretty conservative when it came to so many things.
Yes.
And seeing this kind of support in my old stomping grounds is just so gratifying and just really, like I said, brought a tear to my eye. Because
I love it.
I just love how inclusive everybody is here.
So, Ellen, you said you're from where are you?
I'm from Prospect Heights.
I did not know that.
And my parents actually, their later years moved to a condo here in Buffalo Grove.
I love this.
Very close to where we are right now. So this is what we need, you know, having these kinds of events in towns other than the big cities, because we need people to know that we are everywhere. Pride is everywhere.
Yes.
Love is love everywhere. And this is what life's all about. So it's just a great example of what this country can be, is what Buffalo Grove is today.
I love that. This is what this country can be.
It's true. And it's all about celebrating equality, celebrating love, celebrating just basic human rights.
Yes.
And truthfully, having a good time.
Having a good time.
Having a good time.
And the youth out here. I mean, you know, I love that parents bringing their kids, wearing pride shirts, showing support. I mean, this is the future, and this is what really matters.
Yes.
Is people knowing that this is a celebration.
It is a celebration. Happy
Spirit
Pride.
Parade is popping by. I love the Chicago Spirit Parade so much. I'm going to have to yell at them. Someone's talking about it while I yell at them. Stand by. I love you guys! You're amazing!
God loves you!
Sorry for blowing
you.
your
Look
ears
at
on the
the
radio.
spirit.
I just want to say that is the first time in my life someone said, hold it. I'm going to scream, and they actually did.
Yeah. Have you ever, folks, we are now entering summer festival season in Chicago. I don't know if you've ever seen the Chicago Spirit Brigade perform, because
we're about to see it right now.
I think they are going to do something
right now.
But let me tell you, these cats and kittens are all over the city. Just doing good attitudes. Be doing some. There we are.
It's happening right now.
Basically, they're cheerleaders for Chicago. Just being never any sports team.
They're up in the air. They're up in the air waving.
For anything, but just for promoting good spirit, goodwill, and positivity in Chicago. They are at every street fair this summer. Make sure
I love it.
Out. Love the Chicago Spirit Brigade. And also, you know, I'm sure you've already talked about this since we came on the air, but I do want to give a big, huge shout out to the Pinta Pride.
Yeah.
They are amazing at Buffalo Grove Pride. This was a grassroots organization. It was a bunch of people it was a family who decided to support their kid.
Yes.
And then this grew out of it. We were at the very first one 7 years ago. It went through the neighborhood. It was a bunch of cars. There was one really tall float, but everything else was just pretty much DIY. And to see the amount of people that have come out is a testament to the incredible work that Carolyn and Bob Pinta of the Pinta Pride Project do. And
right now we have Youth Outlook passing us by.
Oh, you're familiar with Youth Outlook.
I'm the treasurer of Youth Outlook. It's a great organization, and we are. Go to youth-outlook.org.
Well, what sort of work do you guys do, real quick?
We work with young LGBTQ folks and help them find their voice and themselves and their community, and it's so important. The work we do is so important, and we are making sure that the next generation of young people go into this world with the self-esteem they deserve.
Absolutely.
Amen. Amen. That's fabulous.
Yes, the self-esteem they deserve.
Yeah. Well,
great.
Navigating like the high school years is just so challenging.
Horrible.
And then to have people who are role models, people who are supporting, so people who are there just to listen.
Yeah.
And to help navigate the hard times, the challenges.
The challenging times.
Challenges that make you...
Because being a teenager is hard.
I know.
Alone.
Yeah.
And then you start adding stuff to it, and yeah.
It piles on up. But hey, if you are at home, or not if you're in your car, because we don't on your phone, but if you are at home listening right now, I do want to point out, Buffalo Grove Pride has got a TikTok account. It is at BG Pride 25. You can check it live. They're changing the world one post at a time. Make sure you check out pintaprideproject.com. They, again, I saw these gals warming up.
They are fantastic.
I know.
Yes.
Oh.
Perfect.
I'm so glad we
Perfect landing.
You need to be on social media right now. We're on our YouTube channel right now. To be checking out the live broadcast.
Yes, you should.
I'm telling you. And then whoever their captain is. They were all warming up. Happy Pride over here. Happy Pride.
Happy Pride.
They were all warming up.
Oh,
and when I was walking over, and the captain was like, remember, we need energy, we need precision, and keep it in the face. Don't forget about the face.
Oh, the face.
It felt very much like Bring It On. Like
La face. La face.
La face. La face.
La face?
It's not a real word, I don't think. It sounds nice.
We speak.
We're making up
That is gay man talk. That is gay man.
Yeah, I made it up.
Drag us
to the polls.
Yeah, a year and a half from now, but who's counting? Everybody.
State representative Nicole Grassi just walked on by. It's amazing. One of the wonderful things too that I've been seeing throughout the parade route, which by the way, again, how this parade has grown over the 7 years.
Yeah.
We went through the parade. This is my first time in it because we were broadcasting from there. But it went through like a subdivision, the first one that we went around. It was great. But now this is it's doubled in size, it seems. There were people lined up all along the parade route. And one of the most heartening things was seeing folks with, we've got people for Congress.
That is Kevin Morrison, great guy.
Hello, Kevin Morrison.
Running for Congress.
There you are.
Kevin
Morrison. When you're done, you should probably stop by and join us. We're on the air right now.
Which district are you running?
Running for the Illinois 8th.
All right.
Running for Illinois 8th.
Illinois 8th. Come on back, please.
Come on back. Good to see you.
We'll see you in a little bit, Kevin.
There you go.
Get my voice.
There you go.
There you go.
Good to see you, man.
Now, where is the 8th?
The 8th covers parts of.
That's right.
That is currently Raja Krishnamurthy's district, and that is a safe answer. Thank you.
There we go.
That's I understand. Okay, I got that.
We also have Laura Fine, Democrat for Congress.
There you go. But along the way, which was so great to see, along with all the families and the kids, were all of the allies that are out there that are standing, that had shirts with like free mom hugs, free dad hugs.
Free dad hugs.
There was a couple of two older folks who had grandparent hugs.
Yeah,
just the amount of support that this community is showing for the LGBTQ plus community.
Absolutely.
Is so heartwarming.
It's really beautiful. And you don't.
Really is.
Hey, we love you.
Love is love.
Love is love. We're getting some love over here.
Yes, lots of love.
At our booth.
I love this. We are actually going through right now. The politicians are coming by.
Yes, we have some Lake County politicians. We have Anthony Vega. We have Cook County United Against Hate. Thank you.
Yeah. Celeste.
Mara Altenberg for re-election.
Celeste Flores.
Yeah.
Cartwright Wine. That's the circuit court.
A lot of local politicians.
Lots of Lake County.
Lots of Lake County.
And
gotta love it.
We have a circuit court judge, Aaron Cartwright Weinstein. It's so important to vote for the judges.
Very important.
Don't ever neglect that part of your ballot.
You know, I tell people all the time, take your ballot, flip it over, and start from the bottom and work your way to the top. That way you don't skip the judges.
Good ideas.
There we
Good
go.
idea, Ken.
There we go.
Start from the back.
Start from the back. If you are just joining us now, we are coming at you live from the Buffalo Grove Pride Parade in the heart of Buffalo Grove.
And there we have Anthony Vega. Great guy, doing a great job here in Lake County.
Excellent. We need that. We need Lake County support.
Yes.
We've got the League of Women.
Hello, Thomas. We have Thomas. He's running for re-election again. We're going to vote for you, buddy.
And these are all the towns right around us, including my hometown of Prospect Heights.
Yes.
On there.
League of Women Voters, always doing a great job.
Women.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Leave it to the women.
Yes. Yes.
Oh, so many. This is great because we really, since we were at the beginning of the parade, we're able
We actually get to see the parade now.
Yeah, the whole
It's
parade.
the best of both worlds.
Thank you. Thank you. Women marching of all ages. Beautiful.
Yes.
I love it. Love it, love it,
We've
love
got
it.
the Chicago Gender Society.
Chi-Town Gender Alliance.
38
Gender
years.
Alliance.
Yes.
Supporting the transgender community since
Thank you.
1962.
1962.
Wow, way to go. Pioneer.
Yes.
Thank
The
you.
Chicago
Happy
Gender
Pride.
Society.
Happy Pride.
Thank you for marching.
And now we have Holly Kim and her amazing goat, Tanya.
Oh, here comes.
Yes, Holly.
There we are. Hello, goat. Pride goat.
Pride goat. Her name's Tanya. She's awesome. She
on,
smells great.
So
I mean,
cute.
she looks great, too.
She's amazing.
Where's my wife? She loves goats.
And Holly's amazing, too. Holly Kim,
Kathy,
It's all right.
treasurer.
Hey!
We have energy.
I know. Get registered to vote. Yes, everybody get registered to vote. Come
Yes.
on.
Glenview Community Church. It's great to see the
You know,
church
this
here.
is kind of the best seat ever because
Yeah.
This is
everybody's
the
walking
greatest
by.
seat.
God's
They're just
love
stopping
for
by
all
and
people.
saying hello.
Hi there. How are you?
Hello.
Thank
you.
Thank you.
Thank you so
Oh,
much.
thanks
We're
for the
live
love.
on the air right now.
Thanks
We're
for the
live
love.
on the air.
Thank you.
Thank you so
She
much.
dropped off a piece of
I think
scrap
we're just
paper.
smelling
Yes.
because littering.
Better than littering. Drop
Yes.
off your
Yeah.
garbage over here. We'll
Drop
take
off
care
the
of it.
trash.
That's how I ended up here.
Yeah.
That's how I got
No.
here.
Yes.
It's the right kind of trash.
Come on.
Flashy trashy.
I love
Flashy
you.
trashy.
Dum-dum.
In the house.
Keeping it classy.
Pretty classy, for sure. I wanted to mention that the parade was started by at the beginning of the float. Well, the parade was Tommy's.
Balloons
Yes.
by Tommy.
Balloons by Tommy. What a beloved person Tommy was to our community. Sadly, he passed away
Yes.
in the last year, and his memory goes forward because the balloons looked as beautiful and celebratory as ever.
And many of the organizers and volunteers who along the parade route are wearing buttons with picture of Tommy on them as well. We also got these Pride bracelets that say Happy Pride. Love Wendy and Tom. Wendy was a huge supporter of Pride and of Balloons by Tommy. Unfortunately, she also passed away, but you can feel the spirit of love and inclusion and celebration that is happening up.
They're keeping their
right here.
high.
Yes,
for sure.
So here's the deal, friends. We got to take a break, which is really sad because then we get to actually talk to all of our friends that are coming by. But please stick around. There's more to come. We've got Floats a Go-Go still happening. So stick around. You're listening to Out Chicago, broadcasting live from the Buffalo Grove Pride Parade. So keep listening to WCPT 820 AM Heartland Signal.
I'd like to welcome you to WCPT AM's Out Chicago. Think of us as Sunday brunch with your gay best friends. Now please welcome your host, Scott Duff.
And welcome back to the
We are back.
Annual Buffalo Grove Pride Parade. This is Scott Duff and Ellen Miller.
I'm right here, and I just saw the Lakeside Pride Band go by. They were doing some
Chaperone.
Pink Pony Club.
Come on,
I was out there dancing with them, and now we're back here.
There we are, and
our
of course, you are talking to the Grand Marshals of the Buffalo Grove Pride Parade.
Our first Grand Marshal gig ever.
That is what I'm going to be like. I'm carrying this. I'm keeping this sash. I'm wearing this sash every day now for the rest of my life. And every time somebody gets a little snippy with me, I'm going to say, "Do you know who you're talking to? I'm the Grand Marshal of the Buffalo Grove Pride Parade."
Let them know.
Right. And joining us again is Kristal Larson. Welcome back.
Hey, thank you.
So nice to finally meet. We chatted with you last week on the phone. Great to see you in person.
Great to be out here. Great to meet both of you in person, too. It's about time.
I know, right? And happy Pride Month.
Oh, my gosh, of course. Look at this. This is so beautiful out here.
And yes, it's stunning. So how was your experience? What would you thoughts, emotions as you were walking through?
I love doing this parade every year, and it's amazing. I had the chance to meet the mother of somebody that I've advocated for the first time today, and it brought me to tears.
Oh, please don't.
Because it was one of those things that was so near and dear to my heart to come out and support a young 13-year-old. And for their mom to be here and to share that moment, it was like everything for me.
It's really important. And, I have several of my friends are parents of young trans youth, and having that support is life-saving.
It's everything. It's everything. And that's why we do the work that we do. That's why we hold things like Pride Fest to raise money for our LGBTQ Center every year.
That's right. Lake County LGBTQ Plus Center. Is that is the full name? Or
LGBTQ Center, Lake County.
Sorry, I always screw that up.
It's long. I know. We have a problem with that in our community.
We do. We love letters, don't we?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I was commenting about how many children were out there, and kids with, their parents, and they were all sporting Pride shirts, and what a beautiful way to grow up knowing that you could be whoever you want to be.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Night and day from back when I was growing up in this area, and you just didn't see it anywhere.
No.
And today it's everywhere. It's every weekend out here this year.
That's amazing, as it should be, because when I was coming up as a queer teenager in the suburbs of St. Louis, one of the biggest things for me, it was about visibility. It was about seeing people not just at these events, which of course are amazing and celebratory and wonderful and fabulous, but just daily, just people who are living their lives out and proud, and seeing all of this right here, it really does. It's amazing. It's the best way to kick off Pride Month. But we're queer all year, right here.
Queer all year, slay all day.
All year.
That should be our new slogan for Out Chicago.
There we go.
Queer all year.
Queer all year. So
Happy
Pride, everybody.
Happy Pride.
Happy Pride.
If you are hearing, folks, we are at the very end of the Buffalo Grove Pride Parade route, so people have been shouting and celebrating as they walk by. And speaking of shouting and celebrating,
LGBTQ plus center, Lake County.
I want to put Lake County first. I know. The location.
Just the center.
The center. There we are. But the LGBTQ plus center of Lake County, you're going to be having your Pride Fest coming up in 2 weeks.
2 weeks on June 14th from noon to 10 p.m. out in Round Lake Beach at our Civic Center. It's our 3rd year at this location. We've got entertainment throughout the entire day on our main stage. We have a side stage this year that's more kid-centric, kid-friendly. We've got Grammy-nominated artists out on our stage. We've got queens from across the country. And we've got over 125 vendors and exhibitors that'll be out there. So it's going to be a great time for everybody to come out, even though it's not October.
Right. Happy Pride!
Happy Pride, Finley!
There. Oh, see, we've got a celebrity over here. You were the one to be known. There we are. But hey, thank you so much, Kristal, for joining us today. And so, best of luck with your celebration that's coming up. What are you most looking forward to?
Honestly, I'm looking forward to just having thousands of people together to be a giant community for an entire day and not worry about anything else that's going on in the world. It's just that opportunity to embrace that joy.
To embrace that joy.
Purely queer joy.
To celebrate equality. And joining us right now, actually, is Kevin Morrison. You're running for Congress here. Welcome to Out Chicago.
Hey, thank you for having me.
Well, thank you. You might want to move your mic a little bit closer. There you go. Thank you so much for joining. It was kind of last minute. I'm like, come talk to us. So tell the folks who you are and what you're running for.
So I'm Kevin Morrison. I'm a Cook County Commissioner representing the 15th District covering the Northwest Suburbs. I announced on May 12th that I'm running for the open Illinois 8th Congressional District, the communities where I grew up.
Yep, and I've been actually trying to get you on the show as Commissioner. So how has your time been as Commissioner?
I mean, it's been an honor of a lifetime. I'm doing what I've always wanted to do, which is helping improve our communities, create policies that protect everyone. I got gender identity and reproductive freedoms as protected classes for our 5.2 million residents. I helped create a mental and behavioral health department for Cook County, and these are the types of policies I want to see go nationwide.
Is that all?
That is not all. I've got more. I've got more.
All you've done, Kevin? You're TikTok. That's a little late.
So, Kevin,
amazing.
Where is the 8th?
So the 8th Congressional District has portions of Chicago, Norridge, Rosemont, Des Plaines, all the way out to Elgin. There's a portion that goes up to near Buffalo Grove, and the Elgin portion up to Carpentersville and all the way south to near Geneva, Schaumburg, Elk Grove, the community where I grew up, and all the Streamwood, Hoffman Estates.
So do you still live in the suburbs out here?
Yeah, so I'm a Mount Prospect resident. My family's all in Elk Grove Village.
And it's an open seat.
It's an open seat. Raja Krishnamurthy announced that he's running for U.S. Senate, and so I took the step. You know, I've been a county commissioner now since 2018, and I'm ready to make some moves and bring another LGBT elected official to Congress.
It sounds like the timing is perfect. And Raja's been a great congressperson here in the state of Illinois. I can see you following in his footsteps and bringing even something more as being part of our community.
It would be an honor to follow in his footsteps and bring us another strong voice to Congress, one who's actually empathetic, who cares, who listens to the people on the ground, and wants to work across the aisle to find solutions that help everyday people do better.
Yes.
You know, I passed the Human Rights Code I passed protecting gender identity and reproductive freedoms was unanimous. We got our sole Republican to vote for the first time in support of reproductive health care rights.
God.
Yes.
Good. Thank you.
That's the type of leadership we need right now. We need unifiers. We need people who build coalitions that would be unexpected, and that's the type of leadership I want to bring to the halls of Congress.
So it sounds like you were willing to reach across the aisle and work with other folks from other.
My mom taught me to treat everyone with dignity and respect. There is common ground between all of us. That's what you need to find out. You need to find out where you can work together and how to move forward.
Yeah. So in Illinois is such a, I mean, we're kind of like is an oasis, not an oasis, but we're almost like a sanctuary state.
Like an island.
We're an island right here in the middle of the Midwest, you know, in the country, where folks are able to come to get gender-affirming care here, where they're able to come to get reproductive health. What are you hoping to achieve should you be elected to Congress? What plans do you hope to take, especially with the current federal administration being such a poop parade?
You know, first and foremost, my biggest hope and dream is to return faith in our electorate that our elected officials are actually working for them. They, as I was going out, we had the April 1st elections just a couple months back. All I kept hearing is they're not seeing representation. They're not seeing voices who are standing up for what they care about. And, you know, I've seen success when it comes to protecting small businesses, to expanding healthcare, to protecting people's individual rights. And that's what we need, people. We need people who are going to return the faith that our elected officials are working for them, and that's the type of leadership I want to bring.
Amen to that, Kevin.
Thank you. Please.
Fantastic.
Thank you for having me.
I know, because a lot of people feel like they're not really doing that these days. You know, they're following blindly, but that's amazing. So, what are going to be the next steps for you?
Yeah. So we're building our team. We've got petitions starting in August. Please go to KevinMorrisonForCongress.com. We're on all social media. Give us a like, give us a follow, share our content, and help us build a successful grassroots campaign. I'm not individually wealthy, so if anyone could chip in a few bucks, please help me out. We've got wealthy individuals in this race already. I need your support, and thank you to Progressive Talk and WCPT for having me.
Thank you. What are you going to be doing with the rest of your Pride Month? I know you're off to another parade.
Hey, I am nonstop. It's full steam ahead.
Fantastic. Well,
we'll have you back.
Happy Pride Month. We'll have you on the show as we get closer. Happy Pride Month to you. Thank you so much for taking time out today. I know it is precious. You are busy because you got to get the word about Kevin Morrison for Congress. And where can people go again to
KevinMorrisonForCongress.com, and we're on all social media. Look me up, Kevin Morrison. I'm here for you. Reach out, and I'm happy to have you join my team. Thank you.
There you go.
Thank you, Kevin. Wishing you all the luck.
Kevin
all the
Morrison.
skill, really, because that's what you've got.
There we are. Cool. So, we're going to take a quick break right now. It seems like the parade is still going. We are going strong right here at the 7th Annual Buffalo Grove Pride Parade. You are listening to Out Chicago with Scott Duff and Ellen Miller, the Grand Marshals of the parade. Right here on WCPT AM 820, Heartland Signal.
Welcome back to Out Chicago on Chicago's Progressive Talk. Can I get you another Bellini?
Duff and Ellen Miller, and we are broadcasting live from the Buffalo Grove Pride Parade. It's the 7th annual. By the way, we were Grand Marshals. I'm never taking the sash off. I am never taking the sash off.
We're still basking in the love.
We are basking in the glow and the amazingness. The parade is still going on. It's incredible to see how much it has grown over the years, and we're super excited for our. It's like a gay skipper that's going on by.
Love boat.
I know. I was thinking more Gilligan's Island, even a little further back.
I met, you know what? I met Gilligan's Island, and I said Love Boat.
Well, there we go.
Right.
That's okay. Merle Stubing will be flowing up anywhere. But right now, we are very, very fortunate to have Ashton Wagner joining us, who is a school counselor at Wheeling High School. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much.
And happy Pride Month to you.
Likewise.
There we go. So, what do you do at Wheeling High School?
So, I'm actually a school psychologist. Slightly different than a school counselor. So, I provide some direct service to students, special education evaluations, things like that, but also just part of the overall school community and trying to help the health of, like I said, the community there.
Excellent. And is that is a 9 through 12 school?
Correct. Yep.
I used to be a high school teacher.
Oh,
so
wonderful.
Yes, and I understand how important that is.
Yes.
Because I had my own weird experience. I was teaching in Memphis, Tennessee. I had kids pulled from my class because I was gay. I was put on the don't ask, don't tell policy by the administration, and I relied heavily on my school counselor and my school psychologist just to help me out. So what sort of services are you providing, and how has your own personal journey helped inform that?
Well, so funny you should say. I'm like maybe 10 months into my transition. I came out about 2 years ago when I actually got to Wheeling High School. I was at another school in the district prior to that. And honestly, as far as my queer students are concerned, frankly, just being there and being present is the biggest part of the work that I'm doing.
Yeah.
Queer educators are proof of queer futures, and being able to show up for my students really means a lot to me.
How long have you been doing your work there, Ashton?
So this is my second year at that building, but I've finished 9 years in the district now.
Wow.
And prior to that, I had been 9 years in another district. So this is year 18 for me.
Doing the same kind of work?
Mm-hmm.
And how have you been accepted? And sort of, have you been accepted with open arms at Wheeling High School?
Well, yes. There's actually a pretty good queer community there among the teaching staff and everything. That was a big part of why I had to come out. Like, I got there, and this is the first time I've ever been in a workplace where queer people were really represented, especially in education. It's I think, difficult to be out. And I just, I lost all my excuses. I just couldn't.
Yeah.
So I had to come out.
That's a great thing.
So, and the administration has been supportive?
Yes, the administration's been very supportive.
And that is, as you were saying, it is invaluable, because when they see an adult who's living their life, doing their job, being happy. Ooh, Spider-Man just went by. Everybody's very excited about that. I mean, who wouldn't be? But when they see somebody, just as you said, just you being you, is a political moment for them, and it's a moment for people to grow.
It's also a point of healing too, because it's really difficult to be able to care for anyone else or be able to practice good self-care if you don't understand who you really are.
Thank you. Thank you. You know, that was a big thing that I had with my administration, because I would be talking to my counselor at school, and I was like, look, it's not if, but when a kid comes to me to come out, what am I supposed to say? That I'm like this well-adjusted adult who's been very confident with who they are for their entire life, and I'm supposed to say I can't talk about that?
Right.
And it's going to be doing the kid a disservice.
Well, and for me, my story kind of involves a whole lot of, most of the pains in my life have come from denying who I am and trying to live up to expectations that were never designed for me. And that's not what I want any child to ever have to go through, right? A child should be able to set their own expectations for themselves, within boundaries, of course, but they need to be able to develop their own expectations. They're the ones who inherit the world after us, and if we're not helping them find their place in that world, how can we possibly expect to hand it over to them, right?
Absolutely.
So now I believe you said you're the sponsor of the Gender and Sexualities Alliance?
That's correct.
There we go. So a lot of people might have heard of GSAs. Back in the day they were Gay Straight Alliance.
Yes, that's right.
Now we realize that's just too binary. What's going on? Let's be a little bit more inclusive. So folks out there who are listening who might not be familiar exactly what a GSA is, can you tell us a little bit more about that?
So a GSA is, there's three main purposes to a GSA: advocacy, education, and community. And we do try to hit on all three of those pieces as part of our GSA. The community piece is the easy one. That's just being able to show up and be joyous and celebrate who we are, right? And be able to have a safe place. That's my job, is to do that. I'm sort of the bouncer for the room, right? But as far as the advocacy and education, we try to work through, a fair amount of giving some instruction about what's going on in the world. Not trying to tell students what to think or how to think about it, but to just how do you understand information? How do you understand what's going on in your world around it and participate in it? And we've got a wonderful law teacher who just retired this year. We invited him to come to our meeting and just kind of share about how can you, as potentially a minor, maybe you're approaching the age of majority, how can you engage in the political system and become knowledgeable and all that sort of thing. So we do a lot of work basically to empower students to make use of what high school is supposed to be. It's supposed to be a place where you gain the skills to be empowered in your own life, and being a queer person in the world does require some specific knowledge. You need to be better prepared in a lot of ways. So we're trying to complete that.
Are there any events that the school does throughout the year that students participate in?
This is one of our big ones here. As far as calendars that we follow or anything like that, we'll look at Trans Day of Remembrance, trans visibility. There's it's sort of. One of the things that matters a lot is making sure that students feel represented and that they feel like they're able to use the GSA, use the school to empower themselves and empower their community. And so right now there's a pretty large trans contingent to our group, but we've had other times where it's been other identities kind of dominate, and we kind of direct more towards building up awareness and knowledge in there.
So in Gen X over here, sounding like a lot of the young people today, they seem to be so much more open, open-hearted, open-minded, and willing to, feeling supported to take those next steps, to be to say, this is who I am. How do you feel that the young folks are are like, what have you been noticing since you work directly with them? I loved working with young people. They make me laugh. They're so weirdo and funny, absolutely. But they also give you such incredible insights.
Yes,
so, yeah.
Yes, absolutely. As far as like the nuance and that sort of thing, I think that there are some generational differences about what we understand about how do we adopt identity, how do we take that on and use that to like move forward in the world. And when you've got lots of very different kinds of identity structures, it can maybe be tricky to find like your group.
Yeah.
But also we're looking at a population of people who are, never have known a world without the internet. They're profoundly connected people who are able to find these niche communities wherever they need to. And so their ability to generate community that way around who they are is just leaps and bounds above us. The part that they still need is the understanding of how to create community in person like this, right?
Yeah.
Like this is something that takes a different kind of work, other than just being like fiercely you. Like you've got to be able to work with other people and bring them together and to focus on something over time. So for example, like we had...
Hold on, someone's blowing a horn.
Yeah.
There we go.
We celebrate in different ways.
I know. We celebrate.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, like, for instance, like as we were gathering this morning, decorating my truck and everything, my students are standing around, and we had somebody from the Cook County Public Health Institute stop by. They needed a place to march, so we adopted another person, right?
All right.
And I'm not going to miss an opportunity like that. I put this person on the spot, and I say, hey, listen, to my students, hey, listen, here's how we connect. Here's how we find people. We don't know how we might need to connect with this person at some point, but we know that this person cares about this community, wants to do something about it. We need to start making relationships.
Mm-hmm.
So and then I gave the floor, and this is how we network. This is how we be opportunists in a good way, and find.
Well, it's just being a kind person in the world.
Absolutely.
Of like treating others with respect, dignity, and reaching out and being like, okay, sure, come on.
Well, but I think it's a little bit more than that, because it's not just respect goes both ways.
Right.
It's in some cases, no, I have to throw my elbows around a little bit, and I've got to make some space, because like if we just assume that this respect is just the respect, that's status quoism, right? And we need to be able to say like, actually, I know that maybe you don't like me talking about my trans identity quite so much. You don't want me to make that quite so center. Like, but it's not, the number one thing about me. It's not the only thing about me, but I do have to talk about it quite a bit because it's assumed otherwise if I don't. And that's problematic, right?
Yeah.
Like that space is not afforded to anyone who wants to not be part of or stuck into that status quo. We need that space created, right?
Right. I was thinking about some challenges. How do you have challenges sometimes with some of the students and their parents? Like they feel a safe place at school, but maybe that's not happening at home. And how do you deal with a situation like that?
Well, so it's sensitive because as a school professional, like I have to honor where the parents are coming from, right? As long as it doesn't cross lines of safety and the students' well-being, there are certain steps that I can't necessarily cross.
Right.
At the same time, like to empower somebody while acknowledging you might not find all the comfort and safety that you need right now in your life, that is a difficult thing to do. To just tell a kid, I'm sorry, this is not pleasant for you right now. Hold on, it gets better. There is a reason why we say this. It gets better, right? You can't always jump into somebody's life. You can't always reach in and pull them out of what they're going through.
It's got to be a delicate balance.
Right. And honestly, one of the most powerful things that one human can do for another is just to show up, to be present, to experience what another person is experiencing as close as you can, and just be a witness to another human heart.
We got trucks honking.
I'm going to pretend like I was just emphasizing my point.
They are. They're like, that is right. Empathy. So as you are a school psychologist, not a school counselor.
Correct.
So what sort of resources do you have available for the students at your school?
Right. So, the practice of psychology is to give away psychology, right? It's to teach people what I know about how we work, how our emotions work, why they are there, those sorts of things. So in terms of like that kind of training, I draw on that and I give away the practice of psychology as fast as I can. I try to make it quick, right? I try to be a present member of the, of the staff and try to encourage, like, here's how we can be more actively involved in our students' lives. I stand in the hallways while it's passing period, and I'm present. I'm greeting students, I'm saying hello, that sort of thing. I'm sorry. That noise has gotten me
I know there's a lot of noise that's going on here. So I'm just saying, when you have students come to you, like, is there any books or movies or anything like, they're like, hey, why don't you check this out? And
so all the time.
Yeah.
All the time. And one of the favorite ones right now is I saw the TV Glow. It's just lighting up the airwaves for the kids. It's a really wonderful trans allegory. If you haven't seen it, I suggest.
Which one? I'm sorry, I got distracted by a unicorn giving us bubbles.
Absolutely,
yeah.
right?
Uh-huh.
Only here. I saw the TV Glow.
Yeah.
It's a wonderful trans allegory, and it breaks me to tears every single time I watch it, and especially in front of the students when I've got them there. We did a movie party at the end of the year here, but yes, there's always great books to recommend. I really am a fan of looking for the graphic novel explainer kinds of books. There's like about different pronoun usage and identity, those kinds of things. Because I think one of the main struggles for a lot of my students is that they're able to explain themselves, be themselves, assert themselves within communities that already kind of have an understanding of who they are and are looking for that kind of detail. Kind of to the point of like, what about a student who is struggling to be out with their parents and that sort of thing? Like trying to figure out how to explain yourself to somebody who does not want to understand who you are. Yeah. That's a really difficult thing to do, and that's one of the biggest things that community provides is practice, right? We practice how to talk about ourselves, we practice how to talk about our bodies, how to talk about our loves, how to talk about our interests, right? And we need to be able to do that.
So do students seek you out knowing who you are and what you represent?
So it's prior to this, not so much. I've had some of my friends, some of my queer friends who are also educators tell me yeah, we just kind of saw you as like a well-meaning straight guy, and it's like, oh my god.
But when they said that to you before you came out to folks, like what? How?
See, they never said that before I came out. They never said that, right? Because that I think was the goal.
Yeah.
That, I guess what I was aiming for is well-meaning straight guy. That's top echelon right there.
Uh-huh.
No. So I don't think that students were necessarily approaching me just because I was part of the GSA back before. But as I've been coming out, I think that's what students really needed to see more of. They didn't need to see somebody all right, standing up as an ally, that was okay. Right? And that was good. And that gave me access to spaces to be able to call people in. But it has been much more powerful to just be present, right? Mm-hmm. And I think that yes, I had to deal with a sense of risk. The job that I do puts me working individually with students in a school, and there are a lot of big emotions about kids.
Yep.
And rightfully so. We care about our kids, but denying our kids good self-knowledge is not a way to care for them.
No.
Denying kids self-knowledge is a way to give them an absent spot that will be filled with all kinds of different things, most of which will cause them some pain and difficulty and confusion in their lives.
So you're leading by example too.
That's what I'm trying to do.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it really just goes back to visibility, to show, to lead by example, to be somebody who's I took this very big step in a public way.
Yeah.
And I'm sure there were a lot of emotions that you were feeling around that.
Still working through.
Of course, and it's going to be. We all are. I mean, it's a big journey.
But the biggest thing that is a threat to me is that most Americans don't know or don't know that they know a trans person.
Right.
And I aim to change that, frankly.
Yeah.
Working as a public educator, that puts me in contact with a lot of people, right?
So
we're in public school, and we don't say no to anyone. If you live in our area,
come to school.
We're a service for you.
We are your school.
I work for you.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't necessarily want to. I don't want to be the face of anything. I don't want to be the one voice. There's a huge danger in a single story.
Right.
But if I stand up first, others stand up too. I sent out a message to all the school staff saying, hey, this is where I'm going to be on Sunday. It's going to be fantastic. Our students are going to be there. They're going to have a great time. And that had some effect. There's people in the building who know and respect me and showed up because of that. But it was the second person who signed on and said, hey, I've been marshaling this parade for years now. It's a great event. I guarantee you're going to have a good time. And this is a straight cis-het person, right?
Perfect.
So that second person absolutely did more of the draw, right?
Yeah.
So, my part is just to be out there and, take a little bit of a risk, but it's really not that much risk because I'm protecting myself. Being known is how I protect myself.
Right.
Trying to pretend like I'm safe by being closeted, no, that was not going to work.
No.
One way or another, it's coming to harm. But it's the allies. When our allies stand up and do the vocal thing, right? You're not just an ally if you, like, in your heart, you're an ally and you're on the sidelines. That's good. That's a starting point. But we need people who stand up and show up and come out with us.
Now, well, let me say, I just want to thank you for the work that you are doing.
Thank you.
As a former high school educator, as somebody who's out there standing tall and proud and leading by example. And
6'5", 4 heels.
Right? There we go. That is what I'm just, thank you so much. Because, again, it's such important work. It's such powerful work. And the fact that you were just there to listen, and to just be an example. So thank you.
If I had met someone like me when I was a high school age,
right? I keep saying that is the mantra.
And I don't want it to be different. These are my two kids over here. My 13-year-old, my 10-year-old. I got one in middle school, one just finished elementary school. I am an incredibly proud transparent. And this is how we do things, right? This is how we move forward.
That is definitely how we move forward. Well, Ashton Wagner, thank you so much for joining us today. Happy Pride Month.
Likewise.
And keep up doing the good work. Hopefully, do you get some breather during the summer?
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Okay, good.
Absolutely.
I
got some planning I need to do.
Oh, well, there, of course.
Next year's fire.
Oh, all right. Well, come on back and let us know when you do that.
Absolutely.
There we are. Well, listen, we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, there is more Out Chicago coming to you live from the Buffalo Grove Pride Parade. So stick around. You're listening right here on WCPT AM 820 Heartland Signal.
Hi, this is Renee Taylor. You're listening to Out Chicago, WCPT 820.
And welcome back to Out Chicago, coming at you live from the 7th Annual Buffalo Grove Pride Parade. Scott Duff here and Ellen Miller, and you run into the darndest people out in Buffalo Grove.
Sure do.
Our very own Patty Vasquez is here.
Patty in the house.
Patty, I was so surprised to see you. I looked up and there's like so much rainbow and feathers in front of me.
I was listening to Ken Mejia-Beal, so I never know how the weekends are going to go for me. And so here's what I decided today. It's better to surprise people than to disappoint them.
Right, I love it.
Right?
I agree.
You know what I'm saying? If I had told you I was coming, and then everyone's like, well, where's Patty? And you also know I run late. Ask anybody. They wish I would show up early.
No, you don't show up early. You show up
I can show up whenever when you don't know I'm coming. And I'm so glad I came. I was listening to Ken, and he was talking about how fabulous it was. I heard you guys. I'm like, I don't know why I'm not there.
Yeah.
And I have a car. Let's go.
Is this your first Buffalo Grove Pride Parade?
It's my first Buffalo, and my friend Noel Nape is one of the marshals. She's one of the parade marshals, like with security.
Yeah.
She's like got a little radio. I'm like, well,
look at you. Isn't it just overwhelming to see how many people? Not only just the entries that were in the parade, but the people lining up along the route just to support.
I love it. I mean, and you don't ever know who's listening.
Yes.
But how many people have come up to us just sitting here in the last few minutes that, listen to our show, listen to WCPT. And it's so gratifying because, we do it because we do it for the love of it, really, for the most part. But to have these people be appreciative, it just means everything. I'm sure it does to you, too.
And I wish they would let us know more often, don't you? Because, I don't know till I come to events like this. I don't know if I'm just, talking to our regular friends and then people, you're right. You're like, hi.
You listen every Sunday? Wow. I love
I know. I have people, I've had some people stop me when I'm working at Trader Joe's. Who are like, wait, are you? You're Scott from Out Chicago.
They can tell by your voice.
I'm like, yeah.
Isn't that great?
I guess so. Yeah. And I'm like, yeah, thank you. So we always encourage, if you see us out in the wild, please come up.
If
say
you
hello.
see something, say something.
Right. There we go.
We just had a friend named Ben Shapiro, who I met many years ago, who's a regular listener. And then another Ben Palanche, whose uncle I dated when I was dating men.
Well, there we go. We're all about the Benjamins on this show, apparently.
Gary Cole's nephew, and that's who was just here.
I'm sorry, Gary Cole?
Yeah, with
Gary Cole?
They dated,
with his nephew, with his husband. And Gary and I used to see him when he was a twin, Ben and his...
Oh, you did not know this. Patty Vasquez is doing a triple take right now.
And we used to see Ben when he was little. And, I think Ben's going to be gay. And Ben, of course, is a fabulous gay man who has a wonderful husband. And we're all Facebook friends. He actually called into our show once years ago. So it's just this kind of love and these kind of surprises are just a beautiful part of today. Wow, the parade itself has actually ended.
I know.
All of a sudden I look up. Oh, do you have a guest? No, that's my wife.
Well,
Hi.
that's your
I'm
wife.
sorry.
Yeah,
Hi,
that-
wife.
Oh, Kathy.
Hi, Kathy. I do know Kathy. I was like, come sit down.
No, she
Why are you not interviewing Kathy?
She could always sit down. Anyway, so
yes, the love is
weren't you
amazing.
surprised out here to see this kind of a turnout and this kind of love out here?
I needed it.
Oh my God! With everything going on in the world, all these kids, little children, people with wheelchairs waving, with pride shirts on. It's just, I grew up out here, so.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I grew up in Prospect Heights, right next
It makes a difference, doesn't it, to know that there's this much support.
Oh my God!
Hi, is this your guest?
There we go. Well, no. No, it's cool. I just want to let you know, look, this whole beautiful, beautiful event is a part of the Pinta Pride Project.
Hello.
And right now joining us is Carolyn Pinta of the Pinta Pride
Carolyn
Project.
Pinta!
We're doing snaps. We're so excited. We're feeling everything right now. Carolyn, this is Patty Vasquez.
I listened to you. And I listened to you, and listen.
See?
You're right, it's
I told you.
You are a loudmouth like me, except you say things a lot nicer. You have a very...
She's on the radio and there are laws.
Yes.
There are,
You
yes,
can say
there are.
whatever you want, but not
It's
right
true.
now.
Both of you, sir.
Look, I want to say, first of all, thank you.
Yes.
Thank you for asking Ellie and I to join you to be the Grand Marshals of this parade. It was, there goes the Zamboni. All right, there we go. Perfect timing.
Street sanitizers.
Street sanitizers. There we go. It means it's all over. You made it.
We made it.
You made it.
You are a force of nature.
You are a force of
Carolyn
nature.
Pinta.
Congratulations.
I actually think I might be a little bit crazy.
Well, I
think-
know you're a little bit crazy.
Now
but-
you have witnessed it, and you know it's true. For
It
sure,
is
right?
a lot. We know the work that goes into this, and I know you're a teacher, you're a mother, and you do all of this too. And you also had time to make us grand marshals.
I know.
You are
and we've got
very
a
special, my friend. Really.
Will you still love me if I order your sashes to make sure they would be perfect and I didn't make them?
Yeah.
Yes, no. Oh my gosh, take something off your plate. Like as we were getting, first of all, Ellen and I both were having like emotional experiences just walking from our car through the staging area to see all of the different groups that were there, to see like the dance team that was practicing over there, the flag team over there, the firefighters, the families that were just there. I was just like, I'm probably going to cry right now. I told Kathy I was going to cry. But it really is like it. Y'all had such a really wonderful moment on, like, there was this great segment on Fox 32. If you want to check it out, go check out BG Pride's all their social medias that's happening right now. But there was such a wonderful thing about the incredible people at World of Wonder coming in as to be a diamond sponsor. And they're saying that, you know, the big city parades are great, but it's parades like this that are in the smaller communities that might be in a more purpley, reddish kind of place, that it is important to see, to have this moment and to have these people and to celebrate. How did you feel? Like
I couldn't agree with you more, and I think you all will agree with this too. There are all these organizations that professionally organize rallies and protests, right? But who's making the biggest difference right now? The little towns.
It's the
all
little towns.
over. Like, tell me you're not crying when you see these 15 people in the middle of Idaho, standing on some street corner in the middle of a red place, right?
Mhm.
And so, yes, I think it's the people that have the power, right?
And
we the people.
Especially now with the attacks on the community that we are seeing. I heard the words of the press secretary, saying we don't want LGBTQ at
grad
Harvard.
students.
Grad
It's
students.
so
didn't even
weird.
make any damn sense.
Okay, I
But
would
this
really
is-
like to get a doctorate in LGBTQ.
Right?
by the
I
way.
know.
We're all gonna.
But okay.
Look, I think you have enough practical hours right now.
But so important more than ever right now to show the world, like you said, if you're in a small town in Iowa, if you're in Buffalo, Buffalo Grove that used to be a more, I grew up out here. I know what this place is like.
Yes.
And to see this today in my old stomping grounds absolutely was the most encouraging and beautiful thing I could imagine. Really, I thank you so much. Because you made it happen.
Yeah, so...
It's my pleasure. It is, again, I was telling you guys earlier, my school situation is not quite so perfect. What is perfect in life, right? But this is where I know I can make a difference.
So since we've now, since the 7th annual Pride Parade has wrapped up, it's now moved on to the festival part. What were your thoughts? What were some takeaways for you? Were you able to enjoy any of it, or were you just running around like a crazy person?
Yes. And first of all, absolutely amazing to have the two of you here at the head of it. And oh my God, it was just beautiful. The time and energy that people put into making everything look so beautiful. I was going to say that the best thing, all the families with the little kids, right?
Yes.
All these jerks try to sexualize Pride.
Yes.
And it's not. Yeah, in Chicago we have a good time, right? But here, this is about families and how queer families are just like everybody else.
Right.
They just want to live and take care of their kids.
And have somebody take out the recycling. That is all that they want. They just want someone to do all of this.
Who's coming out?
Oh my God. Hold on. I'm going to blow out your speakers because coming up right here from the House of Hall is, none other than...
How do I do this?
We'll get you all set up.
Over my wig.
You take your time.
Okay, how are we going to do this?
Just put them over
We're going to let you do you because you look amazing. Joining us right now is the Mackie Queen of Chicago.
Can you hear?
Kahmora Hall. It is such a thrill to have you here.
I'm fangirling over y'all.
No, you stop. You just don't even stop because I'm one of the biggest Drag Race fans on the planet. And you're season 13. I'm sitting here just kind of freaking out, just a little bit going on here. I mean, we got Kahmora from the House of Hall.
From the House of Hall. Chicago's Mackie doll.
Yes, Chicago's Mackie doll.
Yes.
Thank you for joining us today at the Buffalo Grove Pride Parade.
Absolutely.
What did you think?
Girl, it was amazing. I mean, I didn't even know that Buffalo Grove had a parade.
Right.
So I was so excited to be here. You know, honestly, growing up, because I'm from the burbs, you know.
Yeah, you're from Niles, right?
I'm from Skokie.
Skokie.
Yep.
Oh, come on.
Niles was
Skokie House.
And, you know, I wish I had something like this, like, nearby in the neighborhood. You know, I probably would have hated myself a little less and, you know, would have been a more happier child. But you know what? I'm just happy for the next generation of queer kids and LGBT children in the neighborhood. So this is amazing.
It's amazing, and you look fabulous.
I know I do.
Look, I know you do. I know you know. I know you know.
How long does it take you to get looking like this?
Oh my God!
girl.
You know what? Some things just never change.
Mhm.
I still take
like
3 business days to get. You know, I mean, it was my debut at Buffalo Grove Pride. Like, I had to look fierce.
Yes,
You know?
yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
But you
are
do
just
look fierce. You look amazing.
So, and you're here because World of Wonder, good old WoW Presence, came in and was like, we're going to be a diamond sponsor. What does it mean to like be a part of something that it's such a global phenomenon, but it's also like taking a part to like give back to people?
Absolutely. I just love that WoW Presents Plus is joining kind of these local, smaller Pride parades because it's not all about the big cities like Chicago, New York. You know, everywhere deserves a Pride. And I just love what they're doing. I'm so honored that they're having me here to celebrate with you all. And
Well,
you know what? And I want to plug this in too. You know, we have a 50% off annual subscription. Sorry, that's how excited I am.
Right.
Over it, you know?
Yes.
With code BGPRIZE. So 50% off your WoW Presents Plus subscription.
And let me tell you, there is so much on there. If you if you like your drag content, like I like my drag content, you're gonna want to get onto this WoW Presents Plus.
So this means you have an account already, right?
Girl, yes.
Just open 3 more, just for fun.
Okay,
open
done and done.
3 more.
Done. I will open them all. I will open them. I'm very open. I'm open to many things. I'm going to be opening up all the accounts that's going on here. I would be remiss just to like, since I have this opportunity to talk to you and fangirl over you. What was your experience like on the show? Like you were gone too soon. Is what I'm saying.
Scoop. Yeah, gone too soon, but not really, because you know, at one point I was like, "Is anyone going home yet?"
Right. I was kind of like,
I was like, "What episode are we on?"
We're like episode 23.
Right. But we all connected here. No. I mean, yes, it sucked to be the pork chop queen of my season. But,
yes.
You know, looking back at it, the real win really is just getting on Drag Race.
Yeah.
You know, it really doesn't matter whether you go home first and make it all the way. It's all about what you do with the platform afterward. You know, and it's been nothing but
amazing opportunities and love and success. And I'm here now at Buffalo Girl Pride. I mean, this is amazing.
And what's next for you, Kahmora?
Ooh, you know what? I would love to dive more into the beauty industry because I mean, look at this mug, right?
Look at that mug. It is so good.
People that are listening on the radio, I just can't even describe the beauty I'm looking at right now.
People say you have a face for radio. I mean, I wish you could see it. I wish you could see this face for radio. My passion's always been makeup and skincare, and that's something that I want to like dive more into.
Well, you should, because you can give some people some wonderful instruction on how to keep that beautiful complexion that you have.
Well, just even like, I mean, some of the other girls have dipped their toe in.
Now, we're not going to name names.
We're not.
Okay. Some are my sisters, but no.
A few.
Right. It's pride.
It's pride. We're going to celebrate people. but no, I said go for it. That's amazing. And you're performing around town too, right? Or across the country, in the world, dare I say.
Yes, absolutely. Locally, nationally, you can usually find me at Farama Restaurant in Uptown. They host an all Asian showcase every month called Dim Sum and Drag. My daughter, Auntie Cherry Chan, she runs it with two other fabulous local Chicago queens, and like it's amazing to support, queer performers of all different identities. So definitely check it out.
Is it in Uptown?
It's in Uptown.
It's in Uptown.
Yep.
It's the best place on the planet. I love the food.
And what's the name again of the restaurant?
Yes, it's a Farama Restaurant in Uptown.
I've seen it, yeah.
Yes, every month they have Dim Sum and Drag.
It is, first of all, the food is so good. I know. Dim Sum and Drag, two great tastes that taste great together is what I'm saying right there. And nothing but, we got to pose for a picture of everything. Look for radio realness. Radio realness. Radio realness. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much for joining us today. What, for all the folks that are out there listening, do you have a Pride Month message since we are just at the beginning of it?
Oh my gosh. I mean, it's just like, when I think of pride, I just think of empowerment, right? Yes. Like, we're finally proud of the things that we used to be ashamed of, being too femme, being too gay, being whatever. So I want to empower everyone to be proud of yourself every single day, not just in June.
Yes, ma'am. We are queer all year. Queer all year and slay every day.
Absolutely.
Kahmora from the House of Thank you so much for taking time out to join us. I'm a huge fan.
Keep it beautiful.
Oh, I will.
I know you will.
I know. We'll see you at Farama for some dim sum and drag. What's going on?
Is it on Saturday and Sunday or just Sunday, the dim sum?
Yes, usually Saturdays only.
Oh, good, because we're available.
There we go.
Right.
We're available
I
on
love
Saturdays.
Saturday brunch, too.
Okay, beautiful.
All right.
Check it out.
Thank you. We will. Love
Thank
that.
you all so much.
Happy Pride.
Thank you. Happy Pride to you. Oh, my gosh.
Wow.
Ellen Miller, this has been just the craziest day.
It's been fantastic. We were looking forward to this from the minute Carolyn gave us the news that they wanted us to be the co-grand marshals, and I didn't know what to expect. I was on the radio, and Scott was here for the very first one, but I can't thank everybody enough for the support, the people online, to the people that put this together, to Ken Mejia-Beal for filling in for us, doing the first hour of the show while we were marshalling.
While we were marshalling and everything, and we're trying to get him over here. We've got drag queen on the move.
Drag queen.
I know. We're talking. Look, she's in heels on grass. That is right there.
Only a drag queen.
That is. It reminds me of my cousin's wedding when all the bridesmaids kept getting their heels just go ka-chunk right into because it had rained the night before. So, so we've got our WCPT crew all joining us right now. We've got Ken Mejia-Beal, who so graciously took over the first hour for us. Thank you so much. And the surprise guest of Patty Vasquez.
I know.
Who, this gal, she'll show up for a party. She will show up for a party.
I thought there was a beer tent, and I was like, what? Let's do this. What?
Ken, while you were watching the parade go by, experiencing everything, were there any moments that really stood out to you today, or just like was it a general vibe?
The world has become so dark some days.
Yeah.
And to be out with all these wonderful people and this energy. It's about the energy.
Yes.
I love the energy.
Yeah.
So that's the overall, I love this energy.
It's a vibe.
It's a vibe.
It's a vibe.
It's a vibe.
That's what the kids say these days.
GVO.
We needed this today.
Good Lord, can I tell you, as a professional gay, There's sometimes, where Pride Month, it's like, oh, it's coming. Just because it's like, there's so much, we all know, being part of the media, being a part of who we are, it's like, oh, it's coming. And it's just, But there was something that was so hopeful, optimistic, and also that felt necessary.
Yes.
It felt very necessary. We've been saying it throughout the broadcast today. There's something really, really meaningful about these parades in these smaller towns where the message really, really needs to get out there.
I agree.
That like we're just living our lives. We're just doing our thing. Love is love. We're all family. I would punch a nun if Jerry took the garbage out. That's the kind of stuff that's my gay agenda.
Yeah, I could see that.
I just want him to take the garbage out.
I have an aunt who's a nun. She would stand in for she would.
Right, I know.
I just want to say, for me, again, growing up out here and seeing the kids, that's what gave me hope. That's what brought a tear to my eye. That's what really made me feel how important this event, this parade is, because those kids are growing up knowing that love is love, and they can be whoever they want to be, and that's going to make the world a better place. So,
when I saw the Girl Scout troop carrying the flag at the close, because I was a Girl Scout till I was 16, and I was like, "Who wants a juniper? No!"
Should have
this girl like raised her hand.
flag.
I thought about it, but it's their moment, and I was so proud to see that too. I was like, professional allies. Can I be a professional ally?
Totally, 100%.
We need all the help we can.
Yeah.
Girl, you're the professional ally to everybody. I'm a professional. We're all professional allies, I think.
I want to give a shout out to my lovely wife, Kathy Boltberg,
Kathy.
who walked alongside our float, and she supports me in all of these endeavors.
Happy anniversary, honey.
Oh, and happy anniversary.
And happy anniversary.
This is our wedding anniversary.
This is their wedding anniversary, which is different from the Civil Union anniversary, which is different from the
when we met.
The other anniversary. They have so many anniversaries. It's amazing.
Get all the anniversaries.
They celebrate everything, which is the way to do it.
Well,
which is the way they celebrate life
the
in
whole
the best
town
way.
is celebrating for us.
They are celebrating for you, and we got
for you
sashes. Oh, my sash fell down.
Well, I have to say, between Ken and Ellen and Kathy, you guys have made me an addict to New Orleans, by the way. And I'll be there for a few days during Pride Month, and I can't wait to see that town.
Let me know if you
fasten your seatbelts.
Yeah.
Fasten your
You're going to have a
seatbelts.
great time.
I mean,
There you go.
so excited.
And I want to give a big old shout out to the entire WCPT Heartland Signal crew
everybody
who
that's
set
out
everything
here.
out. We've got Matt, Steve, Carrie, Logan for doing everything. Am I missing other people who are?
Mark.
It's a great team.
Oh, Pinsky over here,
Pinsky,
and
that guy.
who's back at the house. Devin's back at the house. Devin, thank you so much for everything, for making the show going. We have just kicked off Pride Month. We're going to be celebrating Pride all month, but of course we are queer all year right here on Out Chicago. We want to thank all of our guests, and of course we want to thank Carolyn and Bob Pinta of the Pinta Pride Project. If you wanted to check out everything, go to pintaprideproject.com. They are just an incredible organization, again, not just for during Pride Month, but throughout the entire year. It has been a true honor to serve alongside you, Madam Grand Marshal.
I think we marshaled the best possible.
We marshaled the crap out of that place. And it was great. We even had little fake microphones, and I got to do my whole
rapping at one point.
I was on it. It was great. It was great. So happy Pride Month to everybody out there. We can't wait to keep celebrating with you. And until next week, stay proud.
Where are they now with Art and Bobby?
She is the founder and owner of